Well, here I am after a 15-month hiatus from YouTube, from life actually. So much has happened for me. I was going to say so much has happened to me over the last 15 months, but so much has happened for me. I wasn't going to talk about what happened, but I'm going to tell you very briefly. I had an incident at work. And this is all completely unscripted, and I promise you I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I just want you to know that we're all human and happens to us all. So I was at work and it was early in the morning, and a car randomly, as I was making my coffee, just slammed through the brick walls of my office. Pushed the table into me. I fell backwards. I was making a coffee. I still can see the coffee cup smashing everywhere. I fell back onto my tailbone, and for that moment, I didn't even know what was happening. It was just so noisy. All the windows smashed, the roof fell down, the lights fell down, and I got up to run, as you do, and I slipped and I cut my leg on some of the glass from the window, and I just ran to the back of the building and hid behind a car in a garage because it took me a while to actually process what was happening. I thought there was someone coming in with guns. I don't know why I thought that, but that's what I thought at the time. And when I slowly emerged, I could see it was a motor vehicle that had crashed through my building. Anyway, a lot happened. Physically, I'm okay. I was pretty bruised up, and the office itself took more of a hit, I think. It took 9 months to get repaired. We had to have structural engineers come up from another city to deem it safe, because structurally there were cracks right around the whole building. The electricity had been turned off, and I wasn't allowed back in my practice. This went on for months, and any business, no matter what industry you're in, can't survive 9-10 months of no income. So inevitably I closed, and I used all my reserves trying to live, and a lot of stuff happened in between. So this was a pretty difficult time, and I just withdrew from life in general, from people, from work, from YouTube, from everything. But now, as I'm on the other side of it, I'm only slowly coming out in the recovery zone. I realize that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a psychologist, if you're a man and you think you're strong. We are all human, and we're all vulnerable at different times, and we can only take so much until, those fractures start to split and we come undone. Well, I had my moment of coming undone, and now I'm getting myself back together again. And part of that is doing things that I love. And I used to love making videos. I really did. And I just stopped everything. So I'm going to have another go. I've got lots of ideas, things I want to do. But first, what I want to do is tell you the 10 things that helped me get through this, or are helping me get through it, because it is a process. It's a work in process. I wouldn't say I'm right there. And in fact, sometimes it's a lifelong process. But these are 10 lessons that I've learned. They helped me, and I hope they help you. So let's go. Lesson 1 is to accept help. And it's number 1 for a reason. I am a stubborn, proud, independent person. It's very hard for me to accept help. But there's times in your life where you have to put aside your own ego and realize that you know different, you know better. You can't do it on your own. Accepting help isn't a matter of weakness. It just means that you're human, and there is a point in your life where you are overwhelmed. Let others in. It is critical to your recovery and to your well-being. Lesson 2, be kind. Now, when I was in the midst of all of this, I wasn't so kind, and sometimes your frustration, your irritability, your depression, your mood lability, a whole bunch of things, your circumstances, the unfairness of a situation, it can get too much, and you can take it out on the people closest to you. Now, when you're in the thick of it, it's hard to see that. So being kind and reflecting on that is usually something that comes later. I don't think you should put that on yourself whilst you're in the thick of it. Give yourself grace, give yourself time, but ultimately be kind. Lesson 3, you're not going to please everyone all the time, so stop trying to. When you're living your life for others and neglecting yourself in the process, it is not conducive to good mental health. And it's not selfish to put yourself first sometimes. When you're in a helping profession, when you're a parent, when you're a caregiver, when you're just someone who loves a lot, doing this is really difficult, but it's critical. So put yourself first and stop trying to be a people pleaser. Lesson 4, don't waste your energy on parasites. Parasites are the things, the people, the situations that are just going to suck energy out of you. When you are in this space, you need every bit of energy to heal. And anything or anyone that's not conducive to that needs to be removed either permanently or temporarily from your life. There is no room for parasitic relationships when you are not doing good. You know, there is a scripture, and I mean, this is off the top of my head and I haven't quoted the scripture for a long time, but it's about don't cast your pearls before swine. And I think it just means, you know, don't give the things that are pure and beautiful and worthy in your life to people that don't appreciate it or that aren't going to accept it. Shake the dust off, move on. Lesson 5, find something about yourself that you like. There's this old saying about you got to love yourself, or no one else will love you until you love yourself. I mean, there is probably some kind of truth in it, but how many of us truly love ourselves? I know I don't. And when you're down and when you're out, you can be your own worst critic. You can be so harsh, and the words of others can hurt just so ferociously. So you have to, each day, each moment, find something about yourself that you like. That voice telling you all the things that you hate about yourself is really strong. It can be strong a lot of the time, but none more so than when you're unwell. So find one thing you like and focus on that, and then find another thing that you like and continue until you question whether or not you even hate yourself anymore. And now I'm really self-conscious because the negative voices are already in my head. A lot of criticism about how I sound when I speak. I have a wet sounding voice, or people don't like the sound of whatever it is in my mouth. I don't know. But now I'm really aware of it. Now this is where I've got to tell myself I like my voice. And even if I don't believe it, I got to keep saying it until I like it. Lesson 6, let go of guilt and fear. Guilt and fear are corrosive emotions. They are emotions that will just eat you from the inside out. And they're both past emotions. What I mean by that is if you feel guilty, then obviously there's something that you've done or not done that you feel bad about. And fear, to be afraid of something, you must have had some kind of experience or encounter, or someone must have said something that's got you hooked on a belief that that thing is scary. So guilt and fear are past emotions, corrosive emotions, and they have no place in recovery and wellness. Lesson 7, embrace uncertainty. I like things predictable and stable, and most humans do. We don't really like change that much, but you have to embrace uncertainty, especially when your world is just thrown into turmoil and chaos and you don't know what's happening next. Embrace uncertainty. Change can be great. There's a saying that the height of wisdom is the ability to embrace change. By that definition, I'm pretty dumb, but I'm learning. And that's what this is about. They're learning experiences and being able to go with the flow and to be excited about new possibilities and what's around the corner is about embracing uncertainty and something that's integral to wellness and recovery. Lesson 8, live like your goal state has already happened, that it's already been realized. So this is a bit of manifestation and visualization, which some people think is kooky and out there, but it's not. It's a huge part of sports psychology. When you're teaching someone to bowl, and I use a cricket analogy because my son loves cricket, but you visualize how that ball is going to go. Whatever it is, see it before you engage in it. Believe that that outcome has already happened. And most importantly, act and live as though it has. And there are other videos on synchronicity and frequency, which this video is not about, but when you start living in that goal state, things start responding, and there is this almost karmic return of reality that starts manifesting as though it is. Okay, that was just really bad. What I mean is if you start living like it's already happened, your thoughts, your behavior, everything else starts to follow. And you are given a bit of a momentum, a bit of an energy shift from a state of hopelessness to a state of possibility. Lesson 9, regret nothing. Change what you don't like. Don't regret it. If you have done things or not done things that you wish you had have done or not done, then change that. Mistakes are opportunities to do and to be better, but don't regret. Remember, regret, fear, guilt, they're all past tense. They're all things that you have no control over, and you have to control the controllable. So don't regret things, just do different. And lesson 10, gems can be found in the rubble. When it looks like there is no way out and you're under the most intense pressure, that's when you have the opportunity to truly find yourself. That's the turning point, the make or the break. If you believe in what I'm saying, that is where the treasure is hidden. It's not out in the sunniest places. Why would you hide treasure out in the open, out exposed for all to see and find? No, it's hidden in the most unusual and sometimes the darkest of places. So don't give up when you hit rock bottom. It is a trap to make you think that you're defeated. Don't be fooled and don't give up. And if you can't do it on your own, then that's a great time to go back to lesson 1. And what was lesson 1? Accept help and start again. It's so much easier said than done. I totally get that. I've lived that for the last 15 months. We weren't promised an easy ride. Life is ups and life is downs. But you have to make the most of it, and you have to figure out what it is you're here to learn and what it is you're here to do. And along the way, enjoy the good moments, because there's still plenty of them too. There always is. All right, let's move on. I want to tell you that I am totally into the Menendez brothers case at the moment. I am fascinated by this. I've spent a lot of time watching, I watched the Netflix series, which I thought was pretty well done, but I've watched all the real court proceedings as well from when they were actually sentenced, and I've done some research, and I'd love to tell you what my conclusions are about some of that. I've done some behavioural analysis, particularly on Eric when he was being examined in the courtroom. So yeah, I'll be doing that. I'll also be making some videos that interest me. Maybe they don't interest anyone, but that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a channel that I'm hopefully reigniting my passion in and sharing content that I enjoy, and maybe you'll enjoy it too. But until then, thank you for having me back. Have a happy, peace-filled day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Till next time.